Hey everybody and welcome to episode 10 of Tyneside Troubles with me, James, from the Football Manager WizKids. Now in today's episode we do play a livecom against Manchester United, a big clash, and believe it or not, they are lower than us in the Premier League as it stands, but I'll get into that a little bit later. We're also going to update you on a couple of incomings that have happened since the end of the transfer window and a few players that have left since the last episode. We're also going to go into each match by detail and show you what happened in the recent fixtures, and we're also going to talk about the player stats in detail and see who has been performing and underperforming in the Premier League so far. So as you know, in the last episode, Moussa Sissoko was on the verge of joining Borussia Dortmund for £28 million, and he did just do that indeed days after the last episode was recorded. He's played 10 games for them, 4 goals and a 7.20 average, and he's done quite well in his opening few games for his new club. We also let go Curtis Good on loan to Burton, we let go Ivan Toney on loan to Luton, and we let go the youngster that I'm hoping can be something decent, Connor Gibson, who we brought in from Dumbarton for a very small fee. He's went on loan to my feeder club, Hibernian. So as you know, we did want to bring in a big name striker, and that one we did manage to bring in was just over £10 million, Micro Batshuayi. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He come in from Chelsea and he got off to a flyer on a decent debut for himself. He has played 5 starts for us, 2 substitute appearances, and got 3 goals and 1 assist, 7.16 average, and he's doing quite well. We did start him off as the complete forward, but I'm not actually currently sure which is his best role as a striker, but I'm sure I'll come to find that out as we continue and progress with him. He was given the shirt number 10 in my squad, and I'm sure he'll come good and be a real top player for me in the season to come. And the final signing of the August transfer window, coming in from Sochaux for just over £2 million, is the new number 29, is Jerome Ongeni. And as you know in the last episode and in previous videos I've done, I stress how I like to try people and players that I've never ever used before. I've never seen this guy used by anybody, I've never used him myself. In fact, I haven't even heard of him until I came up in my scout reports, and I thought, okay, let's give him a go. We got him in for a reasonable price, hopefully he can do quite well. That's Jerome Ongeni, a France under-19 international. He comes in and hopefully he can do well for me. So that was all the business done in January. 49.85 million brought in, 55.04 million sold. Notable players that left the club: Florent Thauvin, Dwight Gale, Matt Sells, Chancel Mbemba. That's a disappointing one. I didn't want to lose him. Quality player, but when Real Madrid come calling, there's not much you can do. And Moussa Sissoko, of course, leaving the club also. The big players brought into the club: Renato Sanchez, of course, Jesse Lingard, who should be a big improvement on Football Manager 2017, Eric Bailey on loan, and Micro Batshuayi. Overall, a reasonable transfer window for us. We have of course put the wage bill up, but we did make a £6 million profit over the course of the August transfer window. So now we're going to go and get into the games that followed the West Brom win on the opening day of the season. So we went to Anfield and we lost 4-2. A double coming from Micro Batshuayi, that was his debut. 2 goals inside 40 minutes for him. A Cyrus Christie on goal. But after half time it all changed and Liverpool just came at us, and look at that. Never in your wildest dreams would you see that. Mario Balotelli notching a hat-trick against us, and he was dynamite. 9 minutes it took him to score that hat-trick between the first and last goal. 4-2 defeat, can't really complain. Liverpool did play better than us, and a defeat away at Anfield is just something we've come to expect as a Newcastle United fan over the years. Next up was Capital One Cup duty, and something I really wanted to try and win, but I did rest a few players. As you can see, looking at the starting lineup right in the middle of the screen, Freddie Woodman in goal, Christie, the number 1 right back, did start, Lubo Satka for his debut, Courtney House, Tyrone Mings, also I think that was a debut for him, Renato Sanchez, Dazelle, Lasamba, his only appearance of the season so far, Aarons, Mitrovic, Armstrong, Shelvey came off the bench, I did Jim Carroll and Micro Batshuayi, but it wasn't enough. We went 1-0 down through Sean Williams of Millwall. They scored 2 minutes later through Lee Gregory. We did pull one back through Adam Armstrong. We huffed and we puffed, we attacked and tacked, and we just couldn't get that equaliser. If we got the equaliser, I would have felt on we would have went to win it, but we didn't. Very disappointing. And I'll just say now, this is the most disappointing defeat so far of the season. Out of the Capital One Cup at the second round after a home tie that we expected to win at the hands of Millwall. Defeat happened, Millwall progressed. So it was back to St James's Park and back to league duty in what happened to be our third defeat in a row. We welcomed Arsenal, who went through ahead 1-0 through Paulo Dybala after 12 minutes. Then Santi Cazorla missed a penalty on the 60th minute, but the resulting save meant that our defender Cyrus Christie brought down the striker and they got another penalty instantly. Dybala stepped up for this one, Cazorla stepping aside, and he got his second goal of the game. Armstrong pulled one back not long after. It was a game that was pretty close, nip and tuck, but again a game that we disappointed, conceded goals and we lost. 3 defeats on the bounce. This must change. Finally, a win. So we welcomed Leicester this time to St James's Park for our third home game in a row, and we played quite well in this game. 19 shots, 11 on target, 59% possession. We did have an almost full strength side out. We did, however, give Andre Dozzell a chance, gave him a start over Jonjo Shelvey. This was mainly because Tottenham sniffed around Dozzell. We turned it down. He had an argument with me. He wanted out the club. We didn't let him out the club, and we gave him a start, and he played quite well, getting an assist in this game for Matt Ritchie. Now, Matt Ritchie did put us 1-0 up after 4 minutes, coming in at the back post. As you'd expect, that's the way the Football Manager is. Aim for the back post and you're more likely to score a goal than not. Christian Fuchs equalised in the 9th minute, but Matt Ritchie instantly put us 2-1 ahead. Straight after, 2 minutes later, Riyad Mahrez did equalise before half time. Quite even game at this point. Jamal Lascelles scored a scrappy goal from a free kick. It was on the 63rd, and we managed to hold out for the 3 points. Matt Ritchie getting a double in this game. Lascelles getting 1 assist coming from Rico Henry, Andre Dozzell. A good win, a much needed win against the Leicester side who packed loads of bodies at the back. 3 flat at the back, 2 wing backs and 3 central in midfield. Tough game, but one I'm delighted to come out with, and plenty of goals in this one. So our first away game in 4, and it's the Tyneside derby at the Riverside Stadium, where we went away to Middlesbrough. We went 1-0 up through Alexander Mitrovic after 5 minutes. Batshuayi put us 2-1 up. 2-0 up after 21 minutes. Ayala did pull one back just after half time. 27 shots and 15 on target from Middlesbrough. They can certainly feel hard done by. I felt we'd done okay at the back. We had a few decent performances here, a few below par performances. I can tell you right now, Eric Bailey is not overly impressing me thus far in his Newcastle United loan. But a good win, a derby win, a good away win, and Mitrovic and Batshuayi are on the goal scoring sheet, which is what we needed, because we are finding it a little bit tough in this league to sort of get a good consistency going with the strikers. Of course, it was much easier for them in the Championship. Nevertheless, a win, 2-1 away from home against Middlesbrough. Another away day as we visit the Liberty Stadium, and that is against Swansea. We went 1-0 down through Bafétimbi Gomez. Then Joel Campbell put them 2-0 ahead. Rolando Aarons, the substitute, did pull one back a minute later. Then Ayoze Perez, who pulled one back to make it 2-2 on the 56th minute. Then, remarkably, Ayoze Perez put us ahead on the 78th minute. But 2 minutes later, Andre Ayew did equalise. Eric Bailey sent off in this one. Quite an even-ish game over parts. I think a draw was the right result. If anybody's more aggrieved, it's probably Swansea. But I think we're good for a point here. A good point away from home, and there's not much else to say about that game really. A few good performances, and I tell you what, one signing is really standing out for me. You can probably tell by this game and the average ratings, but I will get into the player stats after the next game that I detail for you before getting into the live com in a little bit. The final match to update you on is a 2-2 draw against Burnley at home. This is a game you'd really think we should win, and I think we probably just about shaded it and deserved to, but they got back into it on the 70th minute. But first, Ashley Barnes put Burnley ahead 1-0. Mitrovic did equalise from a penalty. In fact, I went with a different strike force in this game. I went with Armstrong and Carroll up front, dropping Mitrovic, but an injury to Carroll did make me bring on Mitrovic. He scored a penalty, then he put us ahead in the 63rd minute, and just when I thought we're going to get another good win here, a home win, Andre Gray can't take anything away from this. Quality goal, quality volley from around 18 yards out into the bottom corner. And we did play against former player Tovan, who got a 7 against us in this game. Again, as I say, this one is one you'd really want to win, but a draw it was, and a draw we take away from home. So now we're into the live com soon against Manchester United. I will show you the league table in a second before getting into the player stats and then finally getting into the live com. So there is our results as a whole, guys. We have not kept one clean sheet in 8 games, including one in the Cup. We have won 3, drew 2 and lost 3 in total. Of course, league is the main thing for us. We're hoping to finish around mid-table in the first season back in the Premier League. It's Saturday, the 15th of October, 3 o'clock kickoff. We welcome the Red Devils to St James's Park. So after 7 games, there is the current league table, and our recent form is 2 wins and 2 draws and a loss, so it's pretty decent. We have played 7, won 3, drew 2, lost 2, scored 16, which makes us the second top goal scorers in the division behind Manchester City, but we have conceded 15, which makes us one of the worst defences in the league. However, 6th position after 7 games is pretty good going. Pretty happy with that so far. As you can see, our opponents today, Manchester United, they have played 7, won 2, drew 2, lost 3, scored 9, conceded 10. So hopefully we can get a good result against them today. Middlesbrough, Watford and Crystal Palace occupy the relegation zone. Arsenal lead the way as it stands. No team is unbeaten. Tottenham, Man City and Liverpool fill the Champions League spots, and Chelsea sit in that 5th Europa League spot. So here we are looking at the stats, guys, and first we'll look at the appearances. A lot of players have made 7 appearances, including Mitrovic, Krul, Christie and Matt Ritchie. Shelvey's also made 7 appearances. Those are the type of players that are going to start most games. We'll now look at the goals. Goals coming from Mitrovic, who's got 4. Batshuayi's got 3, Ritchie's got 3, Armstrong's got 3, Perez has got 3, and 1 goal apiece from Rolando Aarons and Jamal Lascelles. As for assists, Cyrus Christie, pretty happy with that, 5 assists from him in 7 games. 2 coming from Rico Henry. He's had a difficult start to the Premier League, as you can see, but he did excel in the Championship, so hopefully he can come of age and use that experience and perform a little bit better. Sanchez has got 2, 1 assist for Mitrovic, Ritchie, Batshuayi, Perez, Shelvey and Lingard. Key passes for the team, you'd expect this to come from the central area, and it does indeed. Renato Sanchez has got 42 key passes in 6 games, 32 for Ritchie, so Sanchez is 10 ahead of him, 28 for Lingard, 24 for Mitrovic. Now we will look at the average rating, 8.22. This is incredible. Renato Sanchez is looking really good. 6 games for me, 2 assists and 3 man of the matches. 8.22 average, and he is looking absolutely fantastic. He's an absolute boss in the centre of that midfield, and we have got an absolute steal from Bayern Munich. Now, I've never used him before, but I know a lot of people rave about him, and I'm sure he'll be this good and even better in FM17. But what a pleasure it is to use him. After only 6 games, he's been absolutely fantastic for me. So after 6 games for him, he's quite comfortably ahead of anybody else in the average rating. 7.53 for Ritchie, 7.40 for Mitrovic, 7.25 for Jose Perez, 7.23 for Cyrus Christie. So it's not often you see this. The bookmakers make us 6-4 favourites against the mighty Manchester United. Of course, we are 7 places above them in the league, so hopefully the bookies get it right and hopefully we can get a good performance and win today. So here is the lineups, our traditional 4-2-2-2. We line up against Manchester United today. In goals, Tim Krul. At left back, Rico Henry. In the middle, Lascelles, who is captain today, Iorfa. In the middle, Eric Bailey, of course, is ineligible, but after a 6.60 average after 3 games for me, I may have dropped him anyway. Christie at right back. In the middle, we have Koyate as the ball-winning midfielder. He's been complaining recently, not getting games, but an injury for 2 weeks to Renato Sanchez, which is unfortunate. That means he's got the chance to come in. Shelvey in the middle. On the left, former Red Devil Jesse Lingard for me. Matt Ritchie, who is a quality player in this game. And up top, we've brought Batshuayi into the fold, and Armstrong gets the nod ahead of Jose Perez, who's on the bench, and he's joined by Courtney House, Tyrone Mings, Daryl Janmaat, who's not really got sniff this season. Ravel Morrison, another former Manchester United player on loan from Lazio, of course. He's not done too well. In fact, we've had Simone Inzaghi having a moan at me for not playing him at all. Rolando Aarons, Jose Perez, as we said, and Alexander Mitrovic, who's nursing a knock but does make the bench. He may play a big part and come on later. As for the Manchester United team, 4-2-3-1. Masaccio and Smalling in the middle, Mario Fernandes at right back. In the middle we have Lucas Lima and Bastian Schweinsteiger still there and getting a game surprisingly. Memphis Depay on the left, Juan Mata in behind the striker, Mkhitaryan on the right, and the number 9 leading the way is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. On the bench for Manchester United we have Romero, Fontas, Herrera, Martial, Camacho, Jones and Adnan Januzaj. So here we are then, the boys have been told to go out and impress me. We have had a couple of decent results recently. We're unbeaten in 4, of course, 2 wins and 2 draws in that time. But those 3 defeats hurt a bit, although they were against Arsenal, Liverpool, but the disappointing one was against Millwall in the Cup. We're out the Cup, we're over the Cup, and we're into league action, and we are ahead of Manchester United after 7 games, and hopefully it can stay like that, as the league at the moment is, of course, quite tight, as there's not many games being played. Yellow card early doors for Jamal Lascelles, the captain today. Juan Mata has just picked up an injury with a bruised thigh for Man United. 8 minutes gone here, nothing happened at all. Cyrus Christie with a throw-in at the moment. Pulls back to Kiyate, who's not seen much action today, and a shot from Shelvey, and then a shot from Richie, parried away from David De Gea, who's wearing some funky Gabor Karaly-like trousers in today's game. 3 shots from us, 1 on target, 1 off target and 1 blocked. Possession in Manchester United's favour early on. Ibra goes for the shot and is blocked. Lingard. Hopefully we don't miss Renato Sanchez too much. I did show you what he was like, and he's been absolutely beastly early on in his career for me at Newcastle. Hopefully we can keep him long enough, because I expect clubs to come calling for him in January, or certainly at the end of the transfer window. As you can see, Ibrahimovic, captain's armband today for Manchester United. Or so it looked, and he's nearly helped his team go 1-0 ahead, but it goes wide of the ever-present Tim Krul's goal. Yellow card from Masaccio there. A lot of business done by this Manchester United side. As you can see, no Wayne Rooney in the side there. I don't know whether that's down to being sold, if he has, or he's injured, or he's just not getting a game by the current manager, who I'm not actually sure is in charge of Manchester United as it stands. It's a bit stale just now. Kiyate picking up a yellow card there, as you'd expect from the ball-winning midfielder. Christie with a throw-in into Richie, who's been immense for me since I started the save. And it's Armstrong, and it's straight in the arms of David De Gea. He does look silly with that green shirt, red trousers and red boots. Who would ever be a goalkeeper? 26 minutes gone here. Not needing to change too much at the moment. I know we've not done anything creative-wise, but either have Manchester United, so it's a bit nip and tuck as it stands. We're going to tell the lads calmly to get creative. Hopefully we can get down the wings and we can put in a few crosses. Not any tall strikers playing for me, mind. Might use Alexander Mitrovic at half time and look to exploit that power and height that he has. But Shuai's been a bit in and out since he signed for me. Been okay. 37 minutes gone here. Been quite a boring game as it stands. Henrik Mkhitaryan offside. And you know it's a poor game when I'm live comming and we're talking about offsides. Half time approaching, nothing happened, a couple of yellow cards. Possession is almost even, but no shots to really trouble any goalkeeper. Can we have one last chance here before the half time whistle goes? But Shuai loses it. Schweinsteiger. Mata, who's currently nursing a knock. Ibra, and it's a good save, low down, hard from Tim Krul. Probably the best chance, but even then, I wouldn't really call it a chance, more of a half chance. And there it goes, guys. Half time, I'll adjust a few things, and we will get back straight into the second half. Okay guys, so what we're changing here is clear ball to flanks, and I've also put float crosses on, and that will hopefully aim for the taller man. I've made 2 substitutions. Those are Alexander Mitrovic on for Adam Armstrong. I've made him the poacher, and we've brought off Shekedou Kouyaté, who's not really done a lot, and he has been yellow carded, and brought on Ravel Morrison, a real good chance for him to impress in this 45 minutes for him. What I've also done is take off retained possession and put counter on and up the tempo a little bit. We're not really going to control and dominate Man United. As you can see, 48%. They have slightly more percent, and that was us trying to control the opening 45 minutes. So hopefully we can play counter, attack those wings through Lingard and Richie. Mitrovic is up top with Batshuayi. That is, of course, our starting strike partnership. And Ravel Morrison, let's see what you can do, son. A clean sheet would be massive here, seeing as we've not had one so far this season. Richie swings it in. Rico Henry. Batshuayi. And a good save from David De Gea. That was probably the best chance of the match. Good save there. Martial, he's come on as a substitute for Manchester United. Henry. Probably suffering from self-confidence. Rico Henry was excellent And it's a goal! I'm telling you, he's suffering from self-confidence, and he just played his part in a goal there. Alexander Mitrovic, I did put on float crosses. Henry plays it in to Lingard. Lingard, one touch, swings it in, and Alexander Mitrovic beats his man. Bullet header in the corner, and David De Gea stood no chance. And that is why we put on the float crosses into the big man up top. Towering header. 1-0 to Newcastle United. And as I was saying just before that goal went in, it would be immense if we could get a clean sheet today, seeing as we've not had any this season so far, and it'd be good to have one against a team of such calibre. 1-0, 52 minutes gone here. That was a great header out of nowhere. Lingard, who's done okay this season, could have been a little bit better, but hopefully he can improve as the season goes on. And that's nearly a goal, and we managed to scramble it away. Dangerous cross swung in by the fullback there, Mario Fernandes I think it was, and Ravel Morrison plays it to Mitrovic, who runs to the corner. Not usually his style of play, and we get a throw-in out of that. "55 minutes gone here. Manchester United have only got one shot on target out of their 6 shots so far. 4 from us out of 7. Lingard beats a man, plays it in, gets it back, and David De Gea picks that up nice and calmly. Plays a long kick. Iorfa heads. Martial. Iorfa blocks. Poor clearance to Shaw. Mata. Ibrahimovic, and he goes for power over precision, and he blasts it over the bar. Manchester United lashing at a few chances here. Batshuayi. Shaw. De Gea. Batshuayi. Been quiet for him this game. A lot seeming to happen at the moment. Christie with a poor header. Mkhitaryan, Ibrahimovic, Mata still got a knock and still on the field. Mkhitaryan's now on the left hand side. Mitrovic plays it through to Batshuayi, and just as I was saying he was quiet, Michy Batshuayi gets his 4th goal for the club, 4th goal of the season, and puts us 2-0 up. Brilliant, great play from Mitrovic, fantastic. Maybe he's telling me something, maybe he's saying, boss, do not drop me, I am the beast, I am the number 9, I am the talisman, and this is what I can do. Great pass there from Mitro, what an impact he's had since he came on. Batshuayi, I was actually considering taking him off there, and it's Lingard, and I think he was going for a cross, and it was a really bad one at that, and nearly sneaked in the goal, but David De Gea put it over there, and the hour mark is gone here, and we are playing some decent football. 2-0 up again, guys. As I say, I would really love to get this clean sheet. We're going to make one final change, but the team are playing quite well at the moment. Rico Henry with a 7.3, that's pretty good. He's been a bit low on confidence recently. Matt Ritchie, not having the greatest game, but he's such a good player. You know what? I'm going to bring off Batshuayi. I know he was just scored the goal, but he was coming off anyway, and we're going to bring on the man like Jose Perez. Now hopefully we can not concede here, and we don't concede, and the substitute is made. Jose Perez comes on. Not a natural striker, that's why I put him in that Tracatista role. He plays quite deep, but this season under Rafa Benitez, he's playing in sort of the 10 role, or the game I was at recently, Wolves at home, where we lost. He was playing out on the left. He was absolutely dreadful that game. But we're playing him in the Tracatista role. Obviously that is a striker-esque role, but comes a little bit deeper. Hopefully he can win a few balls, take the ball at his feet and play Mitrovic in. Manchester United are going to have to attack, and that's what it looks like they're doing here. A lot of balls going forward. Mata, Herrera, blocked. Ritchie, Mitrovic, into Jose, and Christie has it wide. 20 minutes to go here. I'm just going to tell the lads to calm down a bit. We're 2-0 up. Let's not try anything too hasty. Manchester United are going to have to throw bodies at us. They're going to have to throw the kitchen sink at us. They need something from this game. Matt Ritchie in. Mitrovic back to man like Shelvey. Perez, Lingard crosses it in. Lingard again, and Ao Perez is offside. 74 minutes gone here. One measly shot on target from Manchester United, and we're looking quite comfortable. Ravel Morrison with a 6.8, Matt Ritchie with a 6.8. We won't judge Perez, he's just came on. Ritchie's not had the greatest game, he usually has a much more impact than this, but as long as we're winning and we've got that vital clean sheet at the moment, I'm pretty happy. More attacks here from the red side of Manchester. Lucas Lima, a new signing. Juan Mata's now on the left instead of in behind, and that was a big chance there from Martial. He couldn't really guide it into the goal, and Tim Krul collect. Just settle down. Don't do anything too silly. Right now I'm going to drop real deep for our defence. Oh! Just as I was dropping the defence deep to concentrate more and not concede, I take off the instruction panel. Ritchie's played a great ball over to Mitrovic. Mitrovic just squared it for a second assist, I think, and of course he scored into Jose Perez. 3-0. Yes! What a live com to do, of course. Our live comms have been a bit so-so, but what a game to pick. Mitrovic has only played 45 minutes, an 8.1 average, 1 goal and 2 assists, and 45 minutes is all he needs to be named, surely, man of this match. A huge 3 points. Just keep the clean sheet. I know we've won the game already, but just keep the clean sheet. Ayorfa, a young lad. Lascelles is also a young lad. Big pressure on his shoulders as the captain of the club. Ayorfa was brought in for big money with Courtney House. They've not been too great for me, but this has shown me what he can do. 8.7 now from Mitrovic, and that should be the full-time whistle wrapped up now. Brilliant 3 points, a clean sheet, the first one of the season, and I am delighted. That should be full-time, and it is there, and it's Newcastle United 3, Manchester United 0, and that is the full-time result from St James's Park. So as you can see, there is the full-time result. Goals from Mitrovic, Batshuayi and Perez. This moves us currently up to 5th position in the league with 14 points. Only 3 points off league leaders Liverpool and Arsenal, who are leading the way. There are other teams such as Chelsea and West Brom who can go level or above us if they win their game. But we're looking quite good. I would say we deserved that. In terms of on-target shots, I thought we'd done quite well. Key player for us was Jose Perez, 7.1. Christie got man of the match. That's pretty good. He had a great debut, if you remember. He got 3 assists in 45 minutes on his debut. Tackles 111, interceptions 19, headers 1.5, 8.7 average. And that is a good, solid victory all round. 3 points, 3 goals, and a clean sheet to help us along the way. Delighted. So there we go, guys, a 3-0 victory today in our first clean sheet of the season, and that makes us unbeaten in 5. Delighted with that. For those interested, Jose Mourinho is still in charge of Manchester United, and Wayne Rooney is currently injured and he's not played at all this season. So next up we play Crystal Palace and we meet Alan Pardew and his men. We play them next. Aston Villa away, then Everton at home, Tottenham away, Chelsea at home, Norwich away, West Ham at home. We're going to do our first away live com of the new Premier League on the 17th of December, 3 o'clock kickoff away to the Bet365 Stadium, or the Britannia Stadium as you all know, against Stoke. That will give us a chance to update you on around 7 Premier League games, and that gives us a chance to talk about plans on bringing players in January, as well as potentially selling a few players that might be unhappy or might not be getting as much game time as they want. Now I understand, guys, it's been a long episode today, 28 minutes as it stands. We did have a live com and a lot of detail to catch you up on, but I hope you enjoyed that live com. It's probably one of the better ones I've done, certainly in the last few months on YouTube. I had a few good ones in the Blythe Spartans save, a few good ones in the Red Bull Leipzig save, but as far as recent months goes, that's probably one of the better ones, and I enjoyed doing it myself. So as ever, guys, follow us on social media. Just search the Football Manager WizKids on any social media platform and you will indeed find us there. Thanks for watching episode 10 of Tyneside Troubles. I've been James, we are the WizKids, don't forget it, and I can't wait for FM17, just like you guys, and we will be doing a lot of content for that on here. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, and of course, just keep coming back to the channel, I guess, and seeing what's here and kicking around. A lot of old content on our channel, still good. A personal favourite of mine, if you want, go back and watch the Class of 92 from FM15. A really good save, a really good experiment that I'd done. Lasts about 10 parts, I think. That's really good. Anyway, guys, I'm waffling on now. Thank you for joining me. This is Tyneside Troubles, and I will see you in episode 11, where we play Stoke, who are currently sitting in 6th position at the Britannia for a Premier League battle. Thank you. I'll see you soon, and take care.